Welcome to Beer Disciples. I'm Ross Quintana, and this is a beer. I always introduce the beer. I don't know, I feel like it's just sitting there and it needs and deserves to be introduced as much as anybody else. This is going to be an exciting review, I think. This is Dogfish Head Chicory Stout. So I'm, of course, a fan of Dogfish Head. They do a great job out there. They always have. I've had some of their beers that I generally like them, and then a small portion of them I absolutely love. So I'm excited about that. Stouts and imperial stouts are what I tend to like the most. So let's take a look at this one. The brewer, Dogfish Head Brewing, of course, out of Milton, Delaware, and the style is American Stout on this. Although sometimes I consider some things when there's other ingredients, coffee or other flavors, kind of a flavored stout. And anyway, the American Stout is basically inspired from the Irish and English stouts, although the American stouts tend to play with it. They do different things, whether it be adding chocolate or coffee or flavors, or more of a hop range. The hop range for American stouts is all over the board, so there's no set standard, but typically it should be somewhat balanced. You're going to get the darker roasts, obviously, so you tend to get more of the chocolate flavors, and to emphasize that, some brewers have added chocolate to the mix. As a matter of fact, Southern Tier chocolate is one of my favorite stouts, no question. Anyway, ABVs generally on a basic stout are going to be somewhere between 4 and 7%. This one is 5.2%, and the IBUs are all over the board usually, really. This one's 21. The other day I can't remember what I had, but it was like 89, and I was kind of surprised. I thought, wow, that's a lot, but you didn't. I think, oh, that was 1050 from Oscar Blues, and you don't normally get a lot of that hop characteristic coming through because of the big malt body, and the roast can kind of mask that. So anyway, let's talk about what's in the bottle here. Malts, we have barley, crystal malts, barley and oats, and then hops are glacier hops. Glacier hops were released around 2000, and I believe they came from Washington State University, which here I'm in Eastern Washington, so shouts out to the Cougars, go Cougs. And they're generally known for their good balance and their pleasing aroma, so that should add something to this beer. Suggested serving on this is 45 to 50 degrees. Just to give you a quick description overall of the beer, it says about this stout: a rich dark brew, smoothed out with a touch of roasted chicory and organic Mexican coffee. Goodness beneath a bone white head. So we'll see, and it's done pretty good. RateBeer has this beer as a 95 overall. Let's crack the top here. Boom. All right. RateBeer has this at a 95 overall, 94 for the style out of 1,409 ratings. So BeerAdvocate has it as a B+ out of 1,119 ratings. So pretty good ratings overall, a little higher on RateBeer. And we'll take a look, YouTube ratings. Greg's beer review did a pretty good beer review of this, and also I liked Jay's beer review on this. He did a real good job. So he rated it as an excellent. So, and Greg said it was also very good. So I imagine it's going to be good. Let's take a look at this pour real quick here. Let's agitate the action down the middle. Wow. Oh yeah, nice slow cascading. Beautiful color on the head there. I can tell by the bubbles and the action that we're going to be fairly well carbonated. Looks pretty balanced. About a median action pour on that. Color is really kind of a dark brown with some amber notes. You can definitely see some amber notes around the edge. good foamy, soapy head. And I'm going to give the appearance on that. I was a little surprised, didn't expect quite that much of an appearance. I'm going to give that a 4.5 on appearance. Let's take a look at the nose on that. Can't swirl it too much because I poured it perfectly to the edge. If I do, I'll just be throwing beer on the wall to get a nose on this. All right. Let's just cup that. Oh yeah, you can smell the coffee, organic Mexican coffee on that. Nice smooth malt. Definitely picking up the chocolate notes. Boy, that smells pretty good. I'm going to give it a 4.5 also on smell. So let me get my appearance 4.5. I'm going to go on the nostrich 4.5. And let's check the taste. See how quickly I whipped through that? You can tell that I'd like to have a sip of this beer. So let's try it out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow, you can definitely taste the coffee on that. And one thing I'll give them a bonus on that is most coffee, you know, anything on the marketing that says, oh, it's got coffee, is, sorry, my production assistant son saying behind the camera is playing around like he shouldn't be. Verbal lashing. Most of these coffees or stouts that claim coffee, it's usually just the roast, and people can easily confuse roast with somehow it's got coffee notes because coffee is usually roasted. But only a small amount of them actually have the flavor of coffee, not just the roast flavor, and this would be one of them. Another one is Arctic Rhino from Midnight Sun. That's excellent, and I suggest you try that one too. But this has got a great coffee flavor. And so let's take a look here as far as taste. Yeah, it starts off kind of light. The body is fairly light, and then it kind of gets you. It just kind of melds out with coffee, and then as it stays there longer, you get more coffee notes. I'm going to say on taste, for me, this is a solid 4. I mean, it could have a little bit more malt body. I'm used to drinking Imperials, so, you know, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Mouthfeel on this is going to be fairly refreshing. I would say, like I said, with a little more malt body in there, maybe throw in a little caramel malt, I'd be pretty pleased. As far as drinkability goes, the light body on that is going to make it more drinkable. And what I love about this is that you have a great coffee flavor, but it's not just pounded with bitter roast, which is usually how people do it. So I think that the nice thing about this is you get that good coffee flavor. It's not overwhelming in the roast. The roast is nice and smooth. I could use just a hair more body on this, a little more sweet malt, and you'd have a beer that I'd really highly rate. Still, for drinkability, I'm going to say on this is going to be easily, I'm going to give it a 5 because the fact that you're getting coffee without that harsh roast aftertaste. Overall, on the rating, I'm going to give this a, boy, this is a tough one. I'm right by B+ and A-, and I don't know if I'm ready to kick it into my A category yet, but they did do a good job on it. I'm going to go B+ on this. It's just almost there. Sorry, Sam, but out of 100, I'm going to give this. This is a solid, to me, 92 for the style, and for my overall, it's going to be an 89. Give you an example of some of your local options that you have with this. For this beer style that are highly rated, I try and go in and take some of the similar styles, which is American Stout, and then find some of the top rated ones that you can actually buy locally. Out of those, you have Rogue's Chocolate Stout, which is number 2 on BeerAdvocate for the stout style. Rogue Shakespeare Oatmeal Stout, which is number 6 on the RateBeer site. Pike 5X Stout, which I'll say is excellent. I've rated that, which is number 22 on RateBeer. And Deschutes Obsidian Stout, which is number 4 on BeerAdvocate. And last is Sierra Nevada Stout, which is 18th on BeerAdvocate. So all those are things you can find locally. This beer, I would say, is an excellent choice. It was one of the first ones that they brewed when they opened up there at Dogfish. And it was, they went away from just traditional beer and started kind of experimenting, and this is one of the first ones that they did in a tiny 10-gallon, I believe it was, that they brewed in. So anyway, check it out. I'm going to say it's definitely worth a try, and you should be able to find it. Seasonal release. And I'm going to say you could also join the conversation online at facebook.com and just search BeerDisciples. You can also email us. Leave comments below if you've had the beer, what you think about our reviews. And if you want to be a guest on the show and you're in Eastern Washington, then just look us up. You can email me at thebeerdisciples@gmail.com. And you can send me beer mail if you want, or if you want to do a trade. I'm on Eastern Washington. And if you want to come bring a beer by and review on the show, then do it. So be it, let it be. And if you just want to drop off a beer and want us to review it, you can email us that too. We will take your beer, and we will tell you what we think. And until next time, I'm going to say cheers.